Faith Hedgepeth. In Faith Hedgepeth's family, she would have been the first person to finish college. She was a high school honor student who did very well in school and got a Gates Millennium Scholarship to go to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Her dream job was to become a doctor because she loved helping kids. The UNC Chapel Hill Jr. was tragically killed by a beating early in the morning on September 7, 2012, just a few weeks before her 20th birthday. Before we move forward, as a token of our appreciation for your support, we're giving away free ebooks. Check out the video description below for a treasure of knowledge waiting just for you. Now back to the video. Hollister is a small town on the line between Warren County and Halifax County where she grew up. Roland Hedgepeth stated that Faith brought genuine happiness into his life. He mentioned that she was a gift, arriving at a challenging moment in his life. He shared that he persevered due to her presence. Faith's parents split up not long after she was born, and her father went to Hickory, North Carolina, which is about a 4-hour drive away. But Faith lived with her mother and her older sister, Rolanda Hedgepeth, who helped raise her. She stayed in touch with her father. Rolanda was 18 years old when her sister was born. Faith did really well in high school. She was an honor student, a dancer, and a part of a lot of clubs and groups outside of school. For Faith, going to college was easy because she was born and raised in North Carolina. She knew she wanted to attend the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Her dad went to UNC Chapel Hill too, but he never finished because he married Connie and started a family. She knew where she wanted to go very well. Roland said that she was a Carolina girl and had a strong determination to attend school at Chapel Hill. At the start of her 3rd year at UNC, Faith had big plans to continue her studies and become a doctor. According to Connie, Faith just wanted to help people, especially children. It was her life's work, but school was hard, and when Faith was having trouble, she thought about becoming a teacher. Connie last time saw her daughter on September 2, 2012. Connie told Faith, "The world is yours, and if you set your mind to it, you can do anything." Their early birthday party for Connie was in Warren County, and Faith and her friend Karina Rosario drove there after their shifts as servers at Red Robin in Durham. Connie had no idea that her whole world was about to fall apart. On Connie's birthday, Faith called and said happy birthday. Connie had not talked to her little girl in a while. Faith also touched base with her father on Wednesday of that same week. She texted him to tell him she was going to join the Native American Alpha Pi Omega chapter at UNC. Roland said that she had always known the right time to text him, having a keen sense for it. He mentioned that she had asked her dad what was wrong, and he had informed her about the situation. She had advised him to have trust, and he noted that this was characteristic of her. She always considered others. Roland added that she possessed beauty not only on the outside, but more importantly, on the inside. He had always considered her the coolest person in the world when he was with her. Unfortunately, Roland would never have another conversation with his daughter after that. According to aide to Chapel Hill Police Chief Celisa Liu, Faith had passed away slightly more than 24 hours later. At approximately 6 p.m. on Thursday, September 6th, Faith attended a rush event for Alpha Pi Omega. Subsequently, she proceeded to UCLA's Davis Library to study in the company of her friend Karina. After an extended study session, Faith and Karina returned to their residence on Old Chapel Hill Road in Durham. Later that night, shortly after midnight, they left their apartment once more. Surveillance footage depicts the two women entering the Thrill, a nightclub located in downtown Chapel Hill, which is no longer in operation. The nightclub had gained popularity among college students as it permitted individuals under the age of 21 to dance. Karina later told the cops that she was very sick, so they left to go home. There are cameras that catch Faith and Karina leaving the club around 2:30 a.m. A neighbor in Durham told cops that she heard the girls moving around at their apartment around 3 a.m. It sounds like they were home. About an hour later, someone went to Faith's Facebook page. Lou said it was true that Karina left the apartment with a friend who came to pick her up. She knew Faith was in bed when she left. The police said the door was not locked. Before going to bed, Karina called Faith to ask for a ride home. When Faith did not answer, Karina called another friend. Lou says that when they got to the apartment, Faith was already dead and partly naked, wrapped in a comforter that was on the bed. Lou also said that there was a lot of blood in the room and that Faith seemed to have had serious head injuries. The later released 911 call shows that Karina told the operator that she found Faith asleep in the bedroom. Connie got the call at work in Roanoke Rapids, NC, while she was away. Connie informed Dateline that Faith had been declared deceased. She expressed her initial disbelief, questioning how Faith could be gone, and inquired if it had been a car accident. She was informed that it wasn't a car accident. After ending the call, the reality of the situation struck her, and she began to cry. She mentioned that she had been shocked, but felt the responsibility to convey the sorrowful news to Faith's father, her sister, and her brother. For Faith's family, the subsequent days, weeks, and even months were a blur. Over 2 years, the authorities investigated the case. Just a few days before the second anniversary of Faith's passing, court officials in Durham County released documents that aided in the identification of her killer. This was also when the autopsy report was revealed, confirming what Faith's family had already suspected. She had died from a head injury. The report indicated the presence of cuts and bruises on her legs and arms and revealed the presence of blood beneath her nails. Analysts believe that an empty Bacardi rum bottle had been used as the murder weapon, and the bottle was discovered in the bedroom along with DNA and tissue fragments. Additionally, investigators found a fast food bag in the same bedroom where Faith's body was found. On the bag was a note that read, "I am not stupid." In a 2014 press conference, Chapel Hill Police Chief Chris Blue stated that the police and family members believe Faith likely knew the person or persons involved in her murder. He mentioned that due to Faith's outgoing and bubbly personality, they discovered she was connected to a large circle of friends that extended across the college campus and beyond. He noted, "She never met a stranger." These sentiments were also echoed by Roland Faith. According to reports, more than one person of interest was questioned but was subsequently cleared when their DNA did not match the DNA found at the scene. Roland Faith described Faith as a joyful and goofy individual who loved to laugh and was friends with everyone. Despite these efforts, more than 100 people's DNA has been checked, and approximately 2,000 people have been questioned about it, but there is still no match after nearly 8 years. Chief of Police Celisa Liu stated that they would continue to utilize all available tools in the investigation. She emphasized that there was no single lead to point to an arrest and expressed their determination not to give up until Faith's family received the closure they deserved. Liu also mentioned their continuous examination of the case file, pursuit of leads, and the use of new technology and evidence procedures. Roger Dale shared her belief that the police were working diligently on solving the case, but did not anticipate it taking 8 years. She mentioned that nothing could prepare anyone for such a situation and expressed her yearning to find closure. Faith's father voiced his concerns that as the years passed, the truth about what happened to his daughter might remain unknown. He expressed his feelings by stating that with each year that passed, instead of drawing nearer to an understanding of why someone would commit such an act against her, he felt like they were moving further away from that comprehension. Despite Faith's absence, her legacy lives on through the Faith Hedgepeth Memorial Scholarship. The scholarship is intended for a Native American woman from a tribe in North Carolina who aspires to pursue a college education. Over the years since Faith's passing, Connie mentioned that they had awarded $221,000 in grants. Chapel Hill Police held a news conference in 2021 to say that they had arrested Miguel Enrique Olivares, who was 28 years old, and charged him with first-degree murder in connection with the crime. He is being held at the Durham County Detention Center without release. The assistant police chief said that Olivares was not a suspect at the start of the probe. Police shared a DNA profile sketch of Olivares in 2016 that matched DNA samples found at the crime scene. He also looked like the sketch. Following his arrest, Olivares' mother said that her son did not go to UNC at Chapel Hill or have any friends there. She affirmed that her son was not a murderer and expressed her unwavering belief in him. She also mentioned that he had claimed not knowing the girl. Connie Hedgepeth described her emotional reaction to the news, expressing that upon hearing the news that morning, her immediate response was a mixture of tears and profound gratitude and praise. North Carolina Attorney General Josh Stein acknowledged the extensive efforts of police detectives and FBI agents, noting that they had engaged in discussions with thousands of people as part of the investigation. He expressed appreciation to the FBI and the Chapel Hill Police Department for their dedicated work on the case. Eliza Fletcher. She was a teacher in Memphis and had 2 kids. On September 2, 2022, she got up and went for jogging. She went on her usual walk near the University of Memphis, but no one ever saw her again. Scary surveillance video showed the 34-year-old being snatched and put into an SUV. 3 days later, her body was found near an empty building, along with her running gear that had been left there. Eliza Fletcher, who was known as Lisa to family and friends, was out for her morning run at 4:20 a.m. when the kidnapping took place. Police caught the mother of 2 running near the University of Memphis campus. She was wearing a pink jogging top and purple running shorts. It looked like a black 2013 GMC Terrain SUV drove by her before stopping. He then got out of it and ran furiously toward the jogger. When there was a fight, the man pushed Fletcher into the passenger side of the car. 2 people were inside the car at the spot for about 4 minutes before it drove off. The video shows that Fletcher's family reported her missing after she did not come home from her run. At the spot where the runner was taken, her cell phone and water bottle were found. Police found Henderson's Champion slide shoes, which he was thought to have left behind during the fight. People were given pictures of the possible car to help find the missing mother of 2. A surveillance camera caught the same SUV following Fletcher around the area where she was last seen 24 minutes before she was taken. Police spent days searching the area near where Fletcher went missing. They looked in trash, ponds, parks, and other places. 3 days after she went missing, police found her body near an empty elementary school in South Memphis. The horrible discovery was made less than a mile from where someone told police they saw Henderson cleaning an SUV that looked a lot like the one seen on surveillance video. Furthermore, it was close to where the police collected bags from a dumpster for use as evidence near Henderson's brother's house. Authorities revealed that the body was definitely that of the mother of 2. Investigators from the Memphis Police Department and their federal and state partners saw tracks in the tall grass that led to an empty apartment, according to an affidavit. A member of the search and rescue team smelled something decaying and saw tracks in the basement driveway. Then he saw a woman lying on the ground not moving. The police said she was dead at the scene. The police found Fletcher's purple running shorts in a nearby trash bag. A shell barrel was also found in the area. A surveillance camera caught Henderson's black GMC Terrain driving close at 5:48 a.m. Later, the autopsy showed that Fletcher's right leg was hit hard, and she was shot in the back of the head from an unknown distance. The report said there were 2 half-circle holes in her brain that were consistent with a single gunshot to the head. The bullet went from back to front, right to left, and posterior to anterior. The woman also had jaw fractures. At a parking lot close to Henderson's house, marshals saw a car that looked like the suspect's car. From the surveillance video of the kidnapping, anyone could tell that the SUV had the same damaged taillight and partial license plate identification. Henderson tried to get away when police found him nearby, but he was caught on September 3, 2022. His arrest by Memphis police on September 4, 2022, included charges of severe kidnapping and tampering with evidence. Memphis police charged Henderson with 3 more crimes the next afternoon: identity theft, theft of goods worth less than $1,000, and fraudulent use of a credit card. After being kidnapped, Henderson was seen cleaning the inside of his car and washing his clothes in the sink. At some point on September 2, 2022, a witness and the suspect's brother said they saw him acting strangely at his house and doing the clean. Authorities said they found blood and other clues inside the car even after it was cleaned. This makes them think Fletcher was seriously hurt. Henderson was also at the scene of the kidnapping based on his cell phone location data, and DNA evidence and security footage linked the Champion slides found at the scene to him. Reports say Henderson would not tell police where Fletcher was or what happened to her. When cops found her body, they charged Henderson with first-degree murder and first-degree murder in the act of kidnapping. He was first put on $500,000 bond and went to court for the first time on September 6, 2022. A judge revoked Henderson's bail or release when he appeared in the Shelby County Circuit Court on the morning of September 7, 2022. Janet Abarow. When Raven Abarow got home from playing soccer with his family in North Carolina one night in April 2005, he found a frightening scene. He told the cops that he found his 25-year-old wife, Janet Abarow, dead from being stabbed in an office on the second floor. Police say they did not find any other damage in the house, and their 6-month-old son, Caden, was safe in another room. People in the areas of Durham, North Carolina, were very interested in finding out who killed Janet. The case went unsolved for years. Janet grew up in a Mormon household. Raven Abarow, who was also a Mormon, attended Southern Virginia University with her when they crossed paths in 1998. He was a fellow soccer player who immediately won her over. Raven Abarow expressed his thoughts about her, mentioning that she was beautiful and alluring. He added that he felt an incredible sense of comfort when he was with her. He further noted that they embarked on a journey to get to know each other, and he described it as an incredible experience. In August 2000, Janet and Raven Abarow were married in a Mormon temple in Washington. They later moved to southeastern Virginia, where her friends and family thought life was great for the newlyweds. The couple moved to Durham soon after their wedding because of a job chance. They both got jobs at a sporting goods company. ABC News heard from Janet Abarow's sisters that the couple was having problems in their marriage at the time. They had a baby boy. According to her older sister, Janet didn't want to raise the baby as a single mother. However, it appeared to friends and family that the young couple reconciled and welcomed their son Caden on October 17, 2004. He promised not to cheat on her anymore, vowing that she was the only one for him. Their marriage appeared to improve after the birth of their son until they faced another setback. The sportswear company where they both worked caught Raven stealing in December 2004. Janet quit her job due to feeling slighted. He ultimately pleaded guilty to 5 counts of theft, but avoided going to jail. Raven stated that his wife had been getting ready for bed around 8 p.m. on April 26, 2005, while he went to play soccer with his friends. He claimed that he returned home after 10 p.m., finding Janet's lifeless body with multiple stab wounds. During his 911 call, he mentioned, "My wife is dead. There is blood all over. She is not breathing." Raven relocated to Salt Lake City with his son following his wife's death. There he met Vanessa Pond, a single mother whose daughter attended the same daycare as his Raven son. Vanessa Pond recalled that Raven appeared open, honest, and genuine, expressing admiration for his role as a single dad. They began dating, and Pond was informed of his wife's death. They eventually decided to live together. Pond conducted online research about Raven Abarow's first wife's death, and despite initial doubts, was convinced of his innocence after questioning him. Pond recounted that Raven began behaving strangely, including sudden mood swings and physical aggression towards her. She said he could change his demeanor instantly, saying hurtful things and then apologizing. The relationship turned abusive, with instances of physical violence. The Durham police assigned a new officer to Janet's case 4 months after her marriage to Raven. The new officer, Sol, noted inconsistencies in Raven's statements to the police. Sol's observations included a contact lens case left open on the counter, indicating that Janet likely didn't have her contacts in before bed. Friends and family confirmed that she always removed her contacts before sleeping. The circumstances of her death, involving a knife, did not align with typical domestic violence patterns. In most cases, such violence involves fighting and other issues. On February 1, 2010, Raven was arrested and charged with first-degree murder in the death of his first wife. In July 2010, Janet's body was exhumed, revealing that she was wearing glasses when buried. An eye doctor, Dr. Charles Whirling, examined the remains and noted that they had started to resemble their normal convex shape like contact lenses. Crucially, sample A from the scene was identified as an HCU View contact lens. Raven's trial commenced in 2013, with the prosecution presenting evidence of his controlling behavior. Vanessa Pond testified to his anger issues. The jury was unable to reach a unanimous verdict, leading to a mistrial being declared. In March 2014, just before the second trial was to begin, Raven Abarrow entered an Alford plea for voluntary manslaughter. He acknowledged that there was evidence against him but did not admit guilt, receiving a prison term of 95 to 123 months, credited with the 4 years he had already spent in jail. In 2014, after the verdict, Raven stated that he hadn't received a fair trial the first time and believed he wouldn't receive a fair trial the second time. He explained that he had accepted the plea to avoid the risk of spending the rest of his life in prison for a crime he didn't commit. Raven Abarrow was released from jail on Christmas Day 2017. Angela Kleinsorge. On February 29, 1992, Angela Kleinsorge was discovered dead in her home located at 5600 Gaines Street, near Linda Vista Road. Haiti, her daughter, had the habit of checking in with her mother every day through phone calls, and they had spoken the day before the murder. On that fateful morning of February 29th, Haiti attempted to reach her mother 3 times but received no response. Chief Shelley Zinnerman of the San Diego Police Department noted she knew something was wrong. In response, Haiti rushed to her mother's house immediately. Upon seeing the garage light on and the blinds closed, she sensed that something was amiss. Upon entering the house, Haiti was horrified to discover her mother's lifeless body on the floor next to her bed. Kleinsorge had been subjected to a brutal assault, multiple stab wounds to her neck. Investigators say the killer broke into Kleinsorge's house through a window and attacked her. Kleinsorge's murder went unsolved for many years. Authorities said at the time that normal DNA tests did not match anyone in the statewide database of criminals. Kleinsorge came into the world in 1971 in Germany. In the United States, where she met her husband Paul, they moved to California, started a gardening business, and lived in a simple house in Linda Vista, a quiet suburb of San Diego, with their young children. They tried to give back to their community and live the American dream. The Kleinsorge family was one of the first people to join the House of Germany at the International Cottages in Balboa Park. The police chief said that they were very proud of being German-American. Paul passed away in 1971. Angela Kleinsorge kept living with her family. As she got older, she became more comfortable there and lived a quiet life. She got up every day at 6:00 a.m. as part of her habit. Her kids, family, and friends all loved her very much. In 2017, San Diego police made the big break in the case of Angela Kleinsorge's murder, which had been open for 25 years. DNA tests and police investigations show that the killer was Jeffrey Falls, a guy who lived across the street from the victim. Haiti Kleinsorge conveyed that finding out it had been a neighbor was truly horrifying to them. Genetic tests of family members helped police in San Diego identify him as the killer. In July 2016, this kind of cutting-edge science finally led to the start of a crack in the cold case. The San Diego Police Department and the San Diego District Attorney's Office sent the cold case to the Department of Justice with a request for familial DNA testing. This lets detectives look through more offender databases. Investigators may be able to find people who are related to someone who may have committed a crime. The DA's office said that the family DNA results from this case matched a dead convicted criminal. They found that it was very likely that the person who killed Kleinsorge was that convict's brother. As detectives looked into this new clue in the case, they learned that the prisoner had 2 brothers, one of whom was still living, and the other had died in a motorcycle accident in 2006. Detectives from the San Diego Police Department were able to test the brother's DNA, which ruled him out as a suspect in the investigation. According to Adam Dutra, a crime investigator with the San Diego Police Department's lab, the coroner gave tissue samples from Falls. From Falls' tissue, the crime lab got a partial DNA sample. According to the DA's office, this is when the victory that had been building for almost 25 years finally came together. DNA from Falls matched DNA found at the scene of Kleinsorge's death, which proved that he was the person who killed her. In a news conference, San Diego County District Attorney Bonnie Dumanis said that the chance of a family connection between the crime scene sample and Falls is something in the quadrillions. Attorney General said that the case was finally closed. Haiti talked about what this means for her family after missing her mother for a long time. She expressed that when you lose a loved one to a brutal and violent act, and no one is charged with a crime, you often wonder if a criminal wakes up in the morning thinking that he got away with murder, or if he even gives it a second thought. She added that after 25 years, they finally have their answer. Carrie Swenson. On July 15, 1984, Carrie Swenson was training for a race in the mountains near Big Sky, Montana. There she had a fateful encounter with two individuals, Don and Dan Nichols. These men, with their disheveled appearance, stood still and stared at her with emotionless, dark eyes, and their presence immediately frightened Carrie. She noticed their green packs and guns leaning against a tree, which seemed unusual for the time of year. The older man's intense blue eyes and the younger man's blonde beard and brown eyes further raised her concerns. Despite her fear, Carrie decided to continue her path, but was stopped by the older man, who blocked her way. He calmly informed her that she was on the Jack Creek Trail, but refused to let her go. Carrie, realizing the danger, asked him what they wanted, to which he replied that they just wanted to have a conversation. Carrie was feeling trapped and attempted to break free from the older man's grasp, but he held her firmly. He assured her they didn't intend to harm her and that they wanted to talk. However, Carrie knew the true nature of their intentions. Carrie implored the men to let her go, emphasizing that they didn't want to get involved in such a situation. She recognized the younger man's passive involvement and begged him not to participate in their sinister plan. As mosquitoes swarmed around her, Carrie refused to believe the men's claims and remained determined to escape. Despite her fear, she continued to resist their hold, but the older man's strength overpowered her. Ultimately, the older man confirmed that their only intention was to converse with her. Still, Carrie knew the reality of the situation and that their motives were far more sinister. The encounter took a terrifying turn when Carrie realized she was now in grave danger, and the actions of Don and Dan Nichols would lead to a harrowing and life-changing ordeal for her. The events that followed Carrie Swenson's encounter with the Nichols were nothing short of horrifying. Despite her resilience, the subsequent abduction and its repercussions would become a chilling story that captured the nation's attention. While the Nichols evaded capture for a significant period, relentless search efforts and the determination of local law enforcement eventually led to their apprehension. Carrie Swenson's ordeal serves as a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the importance of vigilance in the face of danger. It also sheds light on the disturbing motivations of individuals who chose to live off the grid and embrace a life of crime in the wilderness. Thank you for joining us on this journey through some of the most tragic true crime cases ever solved. If you found these stories as gripping as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more captivating content. Your support helps us bring these stories to light. Stay curious, stay safe, and until next time, remember, truth is often stranger than fiction.